am ready.
We'll just start this one off. What up, Jobins? Episode 113. It's Monday. Brenden, you're off work.
Hell yeah, off work after a good St. Patty's weekend. Let's go.
Yeah, you went out with the boys on, was it Saturday night?
It was actually...
or was it Friday?
No, it was Saturday, because then Sunday. Yep. Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Recounting.
Yep.
How'd that go? Tell the Jobins what you did, because I'm proud of you.
Well, Jobins, I like to think of myself as a bit of a dancer. Country dancing, though, I got a lot of work to do. I just know the two-step, really. But I danced with like 4 girls at Buffalo Chip.
Well,
where there's this Buffalo Chip, by the way, Jobins. It's like north of Phoenix, and it's like this big like cowboy bar, and they got like a rodeo. We got to pay for the rodeo, though, so we didn't see that. And then there's like some other like Western type bars like that. Mm-hmm. Just like a lot of people in like cowboy boots, and it was like a dance floors. It was cool. And
well, word on the street was that you broke the ice with the dancing.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, because there was a group of girls talking. And I was like, I invited one of them to a dance, and then I was dancing with her. Jobins, I didn't lock any numbers or anything. I tried to get the grams, but they didn't follow me back. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you strike out, but at least I went at bat.
And you tried.
And I swung.
And I'm proud of you. And for going up and dancing with chicks, dude, that's so tough. Dude, you're so good at that. I got to just break my shell and do it, Mm-hmm. But even so, no, big, tall, handsome guy like him, he has to get a couple drinks in before he can go out there.
Yeah.
It's just tough. So I respect that.
Good time, though. Definitely would recommend Buffalo Chip. North of Phoenix, like I said. I'm sorry I'm bad at directions, Jobins.
Oh, dude.
But it's up there in the soft there.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a good, safe time. That was cool. Brock was the designated driver for you guys. He got you home safe.
Yeah, he was a real... that's when I started drinking, too, Jobins, because I originally drove to the place, and then I had one beer. I was like, I'm just going to stop at this beer. And then Brock was like, well, I mean, we'll see what happens, man.
Did you dip a girl?
And then I was like, okay. And
did you dip a girl?
I did. I was like, I saw it because I was like, ooh, that's a G move. So I wanted to do it. So I did it to one girl, but then I kind of like shook at the end though, and I was like, oh man, I gotta work out a little.
She's like, oh my god, this guy's about to fucking drop.
she did get a little at ease, and was like that, and then I was like, I'm still working on my dance moves.
Just kidding, babe.
I was like, I'm still working on these dance moves, trying to play it off.
That's funny, dude.
It was funny.
I feel like that would be the most fun part is dipping them, putting them back up. Yeah, your boy Schmidt can't dance. I gotta learn. If any ladies want to teach me how to dance, hit me up.
Dude, sexy girls too in like cowboy boots and the like
should I just
tight jeans or like the tight jean shorts. Oh man,
I'll listen to Morgan Wallen and dress up if that's what it takes. I'll dress up for a night. I'll go get a fit that's my fit for the Saturday night where we're doing the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I would love to learn how to like do more of that like line dancing type stuff.
I want to grab my belt and kick my feet up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then some tall, sexy blonde in those kind of country shirts and oof.
Oh, there was a lot of
wow. Riding you with a hat? Imagine.
That would be a good time.
See, that's the thing that's hard for me, Jobins. Being a bald guy, right? When I have a hat on, and boy do girls, when you're drinking and hanging out with chicks at parties and clubs, they love taking the hats. They love it. And a guy like you ain't going to think nothing of it. Guy like me, they take my hat off and they see a big bald head.
Yo.
And they go.
Dude, there was plenty of big dudes like yourself that were with like hot, tall chicks, man.
Okay.
And they had, and this is what they had. A cowboy hat. Put a cowboy hat on that bald head. But I'm telling you, there's going to be some country girls thinking that maybe you got to be more country than you really are, though.
Oh, I can get country.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
That's, dude.
Girl, I'll tip my hat and all that kind of shit.
But I don't think they care too much about that. And as long as you look the part, I think.
And I'll just say Morgan Wallen lines. Like, I'll just find some lines in his lyrics that I could be, ooh, that'd be a good one, and just say it.
2 days that you're going to find out.
He's the man right now, the myth of legend. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. Jobins, Schmitty started his day off with a fucking bang. My dumbass forgot my wallet or lost my wallet at Fry's for the second fucking time.
How do you manage to lose your wallet at Fry's for the second time? Explain.
Like I said, I had it in my pocket. I took it out. I threw it on the ground. I said, fuck it. And we went home. No. I was in a panic mode this morning, dude. I hate that feeling, Jobins.
Oh, I've been there.
I hate it so fucking bad. I wake up doing my normal thing. And then I'm looking for my wallet, right? And then I go through my shorts, my hoodies, scan my whole fucking bed, my whole room. I'm tearing through the pod room, and then I'm going down into the kitchen and the living room, and then I'm running to my car.
Yeah.
And my car, it's nowhere. And then I do the double take. You know, when you check everything.
Oh, I know.
And then you check again. I'm there. And then that's when Brock comes in. He's like, because I told him, like, dude, I lost my wallet. I don't know what I'm going to do. Had all my cards in there. Just so much stress.
Your license.
Oh, yeah. Brock says that I was pretty proud of myself because he says, I thought you were going to freak out harder than that. And I'm like, well, I just accepted it. And I was going to make the phone calls. The worst thing is like, oh, man, making the call to cancel the cards and then have to.
You were at that level.
Get a new ID. And I was telling myself, I already needed a new ID anyway. This is, you know what I mean? So I was just trying to.
It's hard to get. You know how much harder it would be to get a new ID without your existing ID?
For real?
How are they going to verify you?
Oh, my God. Holy God. Thank you.
And they ask for a second form of ID. So just your ID, just your driver's license isn't enough. You need like a passport.
Oh, shit.
Like your debit cards would work. You could use one
fuck.
of
Those were in there too? They were gone?
Or no, I don't think a debit card would work, actually.
Well, it was gone anyway.
I think it would have to be a different secondary form of... Dude, it was such a pain in the ass getting the license.
Oh, my God.
And then you losing one of the three Jobins. Wallets, car keys, or my phone. Any of those three, those are the three in the triangle. And if I lose one of those, I'm on your mode where I'm freaking out, dude. So good job not freaking out.
I know, dude. I was on the ground with the phone calling fries. Brock's going out to check my car again. And I'm telling him he's trying to help as much as he can. I go, I already looked, man. I already checked that, dude. I looked there. I did. And then he's like, call fries. So I gave him a call. And then I told him, I was like, dude, I could kiss you right now. And then when I walked in, he's like, no kiss necessary today, my man. And then he looked at me. He's like, this does look like you. Here you go. I'm like, oh, thank you. And I had everything in there. Sono freaked me out because I'm just don't ever think like this. I need to be smarter with how like criminals are of a mindset. Because he's like, dude, check your balance for a while just to make sure no one took pictures of your card numbers or anything. So now it's got me going, God damn it. Sorry, God, I shouldn't have said that. Because thank you up above, all people watching out for me. Thank you to the Good Samaritan of Peoria for the second time. There's been 2 outstanding citizens in this city who have saved Schmitty. Thank you. Because, dude, that is such a horrible feeling, losing a wallet.
I mean, there's going to come a time, though, Jobins.
It's going to happen.
Where I don't even think you're going to have to worry about losing your wallet.
Will it be on my arm?
Because, no, it's going to be in your phone. Like, because now you can even get your ID on your phone, your Arizona driver's license. You can get that on your phone. And to where it, like, moves, too. So it's, like, has, like, security features attached to it. And then I already use Apple Pay a lot of the time. We go to the movies. I haven't even presented my card out. I Apple Pay it through online, and then we just go, and then they look at the Apple Wallet, and then we're in. It's like, dude, there's going to come a point where we're only going to have to worry about losing our keys and our phones. But then after that, it's probably just going to be the phone, because that'll start your car up.
Which it already does. Sean has that.
Exactly.
With the Tesla.
So it's like, that's the worst thing to lose.
Yeah, then you lose one. You lose your phone. You lose everything.
But I'd rather have everything in one, because then I'd be less likely to lose one thing than to lose one of 3.
That's true. That's math. That's math. That's how math is. Makes sense.
That sucks, though, that you went through that.
Yeah, no, but now it's a good day. Now I'm blessed. I found it. Everyone had my back. It's a great fucking day. I feel really good. And I'm going to, what did I learn from this, Jobins? Be more mindful, Schmidt. You stupid ass. Because, yeah, I don't know how it falls out.
You were just getting groceries, and then you let your wallet out.
Yep.
And then it was...
It must have fell out of my pocket or something. I need to be more careful. But, yeah. Jobins. Holy shit, what a fucking weekend for fights. We had 4 of our fucking soldier warrior brothers go to war, and they all fucking capitalized in spectacular fashion. Let's start off with Jack, dude. Just because our boy Jack Jobins, we've had him on a pod, Jack Eglin. Our boy was down. He had lost back-to-back fights, Jobins. And I hadn't seen him since his last fight where he lost, and then I saw him at the lab, and he was just very positive about it. I talked to him a little about it, and it made me feel good. I'm like, oh, dude, he's got his head on his shoulders. He's staying positive. Good for him. And then to see him go out and get the victory, dude, that's just what I love. I thought someone died. That was probably Sono. That's just what I love about MMA fighters. These guys, their mindsets, dude, when you got your back against the wall, you're training hard, you're getting hurt, you're waking up every day with this goal in mind, and your back's against the fucking wall. That's so tough.
And how he even came on our podcast and explained how he went through that one loss that he had,
Right?
you know? So
And then to lose that fight. But look at him now.
exactly. He came back and he did what he had to do.
That's what it's all fucking about. So Jack, we salute you, brother. Congrats on that.
Shout out.
Yeah. And I bet he feels fucking good.
Jack Eglin, straight G.
Yeah, I bet he feels good. And a first round TKO too. So good shit, boy. Can't wait to get him back on the pod. I wish he was here right now. We'd get him on the pod and talk about it. It's going to be lit. Then we had 3 fucking soldiers all fight on the same card out in Montana.
Great Falls.
Yeah, Great Falls versus everybody was what the event was called. Tim and Sean were in their corner, which was super cool to see. And it was fun following them all weekend. What I love about Tim and Sean is you can always see it, even with these guys. They're out there having fun. Like they're posting having fun and laughing and making jokes. But they're so good at when it's time to get serious and be serious. It's on.
They're really there for the boys. Like,
wow.
that is awesome to see.
Our boy JJ, his fucking amateur debut. JJ's such a nice guy. So this was the first time for me. And it was really weird. When I know somebody who is just so nice. So nice.
And you said he looks like Wyatt from
he's
Ozark.
my Wyatt. Oh, yeah. I told him. He looks like Wyatt. And his mannerisms, like his calmness and stuff, he's way smarter than Wyatt. Wyatt was dumb and pissed me off in that show.
True.
Yeah, where Jay don't do that. Jay's smart as fuck. But I'm just so fucking proud of him because he's so nice. And it's just so weird when you know someone's just this nice, gentle soul and then go out and fight. It was surreal.
And to see his jujitsu too, and his stand-up, you know, like it's just cool to see him as a mixed martial artist in there. That was badass.
And to hear him say, the announcer say Tim, and with just talking about Tim's academy and everything. Whoo, that was so fucking cool. JJ was going, he'd had him in the triangle, then he'd have him in an arm bar, then he'd have him back in the triangle, or maybe back into the arm bar. And then that dude even tapped. That dude. Yeah. I know that, you know, I'm sure Jay's pretty happy with the TKO finish, round 2, wasn't it? Yeah. But he had a submission finish. The dude tapped on his back. So he won twice. He's technically 2-0, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're 2-0, Jay. So, and he fucking dominated that dude. Really slick. You can tell that Tim's jiu-jitsu shit, dude, it's such an honor. I'm blessed. And I'm realizing how blessed I am, you know? It's super sick.
And it was his debut. Like, dude, it's just going to get better and just evolving always. It's so cool to see all the work that he's put in.
Right.
Translate to performance.
I've seen him.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah. I've seen him frustrated sparring and he leaves mad because he just didn't do as good as he wanted to. And I'm like, that's it right there. I'm like, that's dedication and love. You know what I mean? So it's really all these guys. I'm so excited to see where these motherfuckers go. Like, let's go, Jobins.
Yeah, they're still all young too.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Tommy Gun Mafia. Our boy Tommy came in, main evented, had the main event spot.
Dude, he looked so dominant too. Like, I was like, damn, there's levels to the sport. Tommy's showing it right now.
Yeah. Well, it's been a tough road for Tommy, dude. He was a 1-0 amateur fighter. And I didn't realize, and I don't know about you, Jobins, maybe you guys know this kind of shit. I didn't. It's hard when you look good and you have the kind of background that Tommy has with Sean and Tim and all these people, and you're a 1-0 amateur. People don't want to lose to you. People don't want to fight like, oh, I don't want to lose to a 1-0 amateur guy if he comes and kicks my ass. That's a thing. Tommy had a hard time getting a fight.
What's so crazy to me is that you're right, that is a thing. But like when all of our boys talk about ego and not having it, it's like, how do these other fighters that's what there's on another level too? Because these guys got those egos, man.
Yeah, that's why Tommy was, I respected him big time because that's why he thanked the guy. He's like, it's tough to get a fight for me, kick someone's ass. And this guy fucking stepped up and took it.
100%.
So, yeah, excited to see Tommy. Tommy, you need to get up, baby. I know he's just 2-0, but it's like, it's time. It's time. I want to see him get something big. He's turning around, fighting again right away.
Yeah, well, after that fight, it's like, man, I could see him fighting the next day.
He had a fight lined up already without knowing the outcome of that fight. That's crazy. That's crazy. Tommy, you're crazy. Yeah, so right around turn. And he's running 5 miles on Monday. He petted on the story. These guys are fucking killers, dude. And then David Clay. I don't think I've met him. Maybe I've met so many people at the gym, right? And you've said you've seen him and we've seen him at the lab.
Yeah, I've only seen him in passing. I've never really talked to the guy.
I don't think I have either. But I made that eye emoji like like that, just because that. And then I went and followed him on Instagram. He's been doing this shit since he was 12.
And he's only
18.
18.
18, dude. And he looked like that.
That's a scary 18-year-old.
That's someone that needs to get some fights and have Dana White see that shit immediately. He's a purple belt, Jobins. You can just tell he's a world-class athlete. He beat the shit out of that guy.
It's cool because he has like a style. So I feel like I get Chris Lieben vibes from him.
Yeah.
Because like I've seen the guy with painted fingernails, I feel like. And then you're like, hey, he can do whatever he wants when he's that much of a killer.
His hair, I loved his blonde hair. I loved it. I'm like, dude, that's just one of those guys you wouldn't.
You don't tell him what to do, man.
Yeah, and if you thought your ego and you're at a bar and you're like, who's this blonde-haired fuck gonna do? Like, you're fucked. You're so fucked.
To say it like that.
Yeah, dude. This blonde-haired fucking gonna die. Boom. You're just done. And then now he's on top of you, beating the shit out of you.
Dude, he was mean. Dude, his body shots on top of the guy.
When
he had his back, they looked painful.
They looked ground and pound, dude. It was world class. And the way that dude, he already knew that dude was going to throw that right, and he fucking dipped under it. Beautiful takedown.
That was nice.
It was dominance. I definitely, yeah. So, yeah, Jobins. 4 for 4 with the Jobins. There's a Jobin army coming. It's a Tim Welch army. It's brewing.
Yeah, shout out. All of them deserve their flowers.
Yeah,
Good
for
job,
real.
boys.
For real. We went to jiu-jitsu on Saturday.
Yeah.
You got any funny stories?
Yeah, I got one funny story. Was Jobins. I have this boy from the bank that I work with, Richard, who's a business banker. He's like, he gets into jiu-jitsu now, which is really cool. But before the last time we rolled together, because he's like 280 pounds.
And he's such a good, funny guy. He's I love this shit. This is my crack, man. I love this. Yeah. You want to go, Schmitty? I'm like, yeah.
But I was on top of him. I started on top, and then he couldn't get me off him. So I pretty much like won the roll. But I gave him advice at the end of that practice. I was like, you just need to like explode at times, and you can really just flip me easy, man. I promise you. What does he do? We roll on Saturday, and I start on top again. He actually is able, and I'm in his full guard, right? And then he reverses me and explodes up like I told him to last time. And of course, now he's on top of me. And pretty much for 5 minutes, I'm just have this guy on top of me. He doesn't know what he's doing quite yet, but he's heavy enough to just stay there.
Yep, that's
so
where
I was
I'm at.
stuck.
I was trying to coach you, but I don't know how to do anything. I was just like, shrimp, Brenden, shrimp.
Well, the reason I don't want to shrimp at 2 at times is because I don't want all of his weight to be on my side when I shrimp and then pop something. Yeah. When I'm centered like
that
this,
boy puts pressure.
If I'm flat, I'm way less likely to get hurt. Then
I respect that. I respect that.
120 pounds to 280. That's quite a difference.
Oh yeah. That's funny shit. Richard's a good dude. Everyone in the gym is just so awesome. I love everybody.
Yeah, and Johnny was coaching too. Shout out Johnny, man.
Johnny's a good coach.
I always like to hear his instructions too. So that was a good time on Saturday.
And he goes around to everybody. And he both times showed me things that I wasn't doing right, and then I would do it correctly. He made me feel good.
Yeah, dude.
When they come over and they're like, "Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, good job, just like that." You feel good, you know. And even like, because Tim, he's a little harsher. He'll be a little harder about it. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, "Oh, okay," you know what I mean? Where Johnny, I'm like, "Oh yeah." But it's good to be like that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when Tim couldn't call something out because he'll go and be like, "All right, everybody," and he gets everybody to look, and then he'll be like, "Don't do it like this." And it's like, let me show you, and then he does it all over again. You're like, "Oh, who did it?"
It's Dad. Dad's coming, guys. Watch Dad. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, dude, I had to roll the Bebo for the first, not the first time, but the first time this happened to me, where I'm on top of him, he can't get me off, and then he almost has my back. To where he's trying to get my back, but I'm still like being able to turn and get top again. What does the fucker do? Cover my mouth with his hand. And I'm tired as fuck. Dead. This is our 5th and final roll of the day. I am dead. And he starts putting it over my mouth. Bro, it's the only thing I was thinking about because I couldn't get him off. And then at one point I couldn't get his hand off of my mouth and I couldn't breathe. And I finally get it off because I think he was laughing and he let go. And I'm like, Bee-boo, that's cheating. And now I noticed that the whole gym is now watching this match go down. And I'm like, oh God. And then he gets on top of me and we're rolling around. And I look, and the girls are looking at me like, I'm like, oh, don't watch. And then they like joke, and they're like that. They're like covering their faces. I'm like, oh, I'm just kidding. And then I'm getting beat up again. He starts putting his hand on my mouth. I'm like, oh, oh, oh. And he gets up, and then this is why I love Bebo. He's like, just calm down. He stops, right? And he's big brother in me. He's got full mount on me, and he's just knowing that I am panicking. And he's going, just breathe. Find a hole where you can breathe, and just breathe. You're fine. Calm down. And I'm listening. I'm like, okay, I found a hole in like the side. You know what I mean? Just a small. And I'm like, okay, I'm breathing. I'm calming down. And he's just guiding me, telling me. It was funny.
He's a bad dude too.
He's a bad motherfucker, dude.
It was fun to see Vivo beat up on you.
Oh yeah. Oh, at one point he was riding me and did something. I know he was doing something. And I go, that's it. I'm standing up. And the next thing I know, I'm not standing up. So I love jiu-jitsu. I told him at the end, I was like, thank you for doing that. That was fun. Because I came walking up to him before we were gonna roll. I'm like, you ready? I go, I'm ready to die today. And he's laughing. And then they made him start with me on full mount. And he didn't want to do that at all. And then he got out of the full mount, and I hear Johnny going, oh, man, like he was sad. And I was like, damn, something's going to happen.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
It's
that's
so
sick.
much fun. Jiu-jitsu is a lot of fun. I have fallen in love.
That's awesome.
I'm excited to go on Thursday. And, again, it's fun when everybody just wants to kick my ass. So I already got matches lined up. Taya wants to beat me up. A couple other people want to beat me up.
Yep. Get ready for it.
Yeah, Kelly called me out. He wanted to come roll with me. And then I kept top the whole time. And then, like, the last, like, literally 3-4 seconds, he flipped me. Ooh. And I was like, oh, no, now I'm getting Kelly. And then it went off. I was like, oh, shit, right at the end, too. It was cool. It was cool. Jobins, our speed dating got fucking rescheduled. We wake up Saturday. I go to check my emails. It tells us, hey, clock in a little early, like 7 hours early before the event to confirm you're coming. Send the email to do it. Then I scroll down and it had an attachment. We're so sorry. There wasn't enough people. We had to cancel and reschedule. In which they didn't credit Tim back. So we got to find out what the fuck's going on. Because Tim bought he's the one buying the tickets for us. So now they haven't credited him back. And then we've used your card now to buy this round of tickets. So when we get there, I'm going to be like, yo, what do we do? Because the link that they sent on the email just takes you to buy the tickets for the next event.
I can't imagine that they'd have a very sophisticated system. I mean, it's a pretty small business probably that does dating, speed dating.
If it happens again, they cancel this shit again, I don't want to do it. It's annoying. It's now annoying.
Well, I mean, there wasn't enough people. Maybe this time there'll be enough people. And you got to remember, St. Pat's Day had just happened because I actually it was Friday night. We actually went out Friday night because we keep saying Saturday was the next day. So, yeah, then speed dating got canceled.
So you guys went out. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. I was like, I got to correct myself on when I went out.
Yep.
And then Saturday we went to jiu-jitsu, like you said.
Yeah. We were all excited about it. Me and Brock were, I'm not going to lie, we're nervous. We don't really want to do it. But I'm looking at it as like a fun thing with you guys. That's the way I'm looking at it. And it as like an experience.
Yeah.
Because we've never done it. And then we can say we did it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
And it's always weird, Jobins, how like when something you don't really want to do and you get out of your and you got to get out of your comfort zone and then you go and do it, you end up being really happy that you did it most of the time. I'm sure there's experiences where like you swim with sharks and something fucking horrible happens. You're like, never again. You know what I mean?
Hey man, even those surfers come back and still keep doing what they love.
Oh, 100p. That's a whole nother fucking level and mental game that I just don't have. I can't even go in the water in ocean. I'm not going in the ocean. Fuck that.
Yeah, you might fall.
I've seen too many movies. Speaking of movies, let's do a couple recaps.
Okay.
Now Jobins, these ones are old movies, a little different from keeping up to what new. But you had never seen that's now on Netflix. This Is Where I Leave You.
Yeah, This Is Where I Leave You with Jason Bateman. Freaking, there's a lot of people in that movie. Adam Driver, who you mentioned.
The bald guy from everyone knows him as the Ant-Man guy.
Oh, yeah, the bad guy from Ant-Man, but not the real bad guy.
The older brother in the movie. Then you had, what's her name?
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
In a serious role, too, yeah.
That Rose, what's her name? Rose something?
Rose Byrne.
Yeah, she's in a bunch of stuff.
British hottie.
Oh, she's so cute. She's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
And Dude, who else was there? Timothy Olyphant? How do you say his last name?
Olyphant?
It's so hard to say.
Timothy Olyphant? I don't know. But he had a really sad, good part, too. That whole movie, Jobins. I saw that. When did it come out? 2013?
2014,
2014.
I think it said.
I saw that in theaters with my ex and my friends, and then we went and saw another movie after. It was a back-to-back. And I was like, we originally wanted to see the second movie first. So we're like, oh, shit. Well, what do you guys want to do? Let's go see this one. It looked good. Then I watched that. I was like, holy shit, this movie was amazing. Again, I hadn't seen it since 2014. Watching it with you was like watching it all over again. I almost cried a couple times. I'm like, this movie is real. That's a real life movie.
It is. And the lines, too, the delivery of the lines from the characters. Like when Dax Shepard, who's also in the movie. And
Is
the cheater. He's the cheater that cheated on Jason Bateman's, with Jason Bateman's wife.
And then somehow he's still funny.
And then he comes to the town. He's like, thanks. And Dax Shepard's like, for what? And he's like, before you got into town, I thought I was the most pathetic person here. And I was like, damn, dude, just like lines like that just hit. That was a good movie.
Well, and spoiler alerts, Jobins. Go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's really good. But Jason Bateman's character of just like the whole. So it's about this family, Jobins. This is where I leave you. If you don't know what it is, their dad dies. It's this big group of family, and you get the gist that they've all have gone their own separate ways in life. And now that their dad has died, their mom wants them to come back and stay with each other for a week to just kind of rekindle and regroup, right?
Yeah, with because it's Shabbat, I think it was called. It was like a Jewish tradition of staying in mourning in 7 days. So they all had to stay at that family house.
Yeah.
So that's how she's able. They're all
Thank
there.
you. That was good shit.
Because that's a big part of it too.
It
Like
is.
the faith aspect.
Oh yeah, because they go to the
they're
church.
Jewish as well.
And who's the one guy that you loved?
Oh, Ben Schwartz is also in it, who
Yes.
voices Sonic.
Yeah, that's who that is. That's who it is. I love that guy, and he killed it in
he's
that movie.
funny.
He's funny as shit, and he kills it. But Jason Bateman's character, he's doing his thing in life, and his family is just not there. And when he gets back, it's that his character just hit because he's realizing how much everything truly meant, and that his dad, because apparently his character can't really remember his childhood and remember shit. And that Adam Driver, they have that headbutt scene that you got all weirded about because their dad headbutts. Their dad never kissed them. He would put their head on their foreheads as like a thing. And I can feel that. I would respect that. I don't think that's weird. You know what I mean? I'll do it to you right now.
Get away from me.
When you win your first medal, I'll put my head. I'll be like, I'm so proud of you, brother. I don't give a fuck. But so his character doesn't really remember everything, and he doesn't really remember what his dad contributed to him. And you realize that when he gets back home and he goes down in that office, it's his job. His character's job was radio, and that's where the scumbag Dax Shepard
had been his boss.
Was his boss and doing pretty much podcasting. It's like us podcasting.
It is.
And then I go and fuck your wife.
And we've been working together for, he said 7 years.
7 years.
I can't wait for when our pod gets that old, but come on, like that's
And then we'll talk about like, dude, this is like if I was Dax Shepard. We'll get there. But yeah, so Jason Bateman's character does radio. And when he gets back home, he realizes that how much his dad actually influenced that in his life. And that scene when he has the dream, the flashback with his dad, I about fucking broke down, dude. I about broke. And then he wakes up and and the mom, and then they even make it funny because the mom's got fake tits, and they're all weird. Like, mom, why do you got big fake tits? It's all weird. And he's crying, and then they make it funny.
You'd say it's a warm-hearted comedy, right?
100%.
A warm-hearted comedy.
A life lesson. You're gonna get life lessons. Even if like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate with that movie. And you can learn from it and take away from shit that maybe help your family in life.
And there's still like, I would say, kind of a happy ending.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the movie.
Well, a sweet. It's like a bitter. It's like a
bittersweetness.
Bittersweetness. Yeah. Because we know where these characters are going.
Yes, that's what it is. Because of closure from the film.
Yeah. Some of them might still be a little stuck in their ways, but maybe they'll change. Good shit, Jobins.
What makes me sad is it's a movie because you know that there's probably a lot of people who never have those kind of issues resolved.
The closure?
Yeah.
100%.
And it's like, damn, this is just a movie setting up expectations that may not be realistic.
Yeah. or one that you really learn from and can that's why, dude.
Good movie.
Yeah.
God, it's so deep.
That's why, Jobins, there's this little video out where Seth Rogen did a podcast interview with this guy, and I felt like I've always loved Seth Rogen. He's one of my top all-time favorite actors in the world ever in my life, you know. And when I watched this, I felt like, oh my God, me and Seth Rogen are actually kind of the same person, because I'm blessed. I feel blessed with the parents I grew up with who I loved how Seth said it, appreciated movies. My parents appreciated movies, directors, actors. They appreciated music. You know, my dad loved music. These are things that I grew up on, where as I've grown up, a lot of people have, but there's also a lot of people who don't have that, who are like, who have never seen the movies that we've seen.
I know, yeah. We do got to thank our parents for like letting us see all those kind of movies. And
bro, I swear to God, to me, Jobins, you can judge me, I think movies are the same as books. Now, are they crazier, and are books different in ways that you can like, where movies haven't been made about the books? There's books that you can learn that you've never heard about. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, same.
Yeah.
Because I have learned something from a movie every time. Every movie, you've learned something. You can learn something. And we, being from parents who appreciated it, I was able to watch from a young age so many movies. Sean doesn't even believe all the movies we've seen.
Sometimes, too, movies can be even greater than books, because Stephen King's The Shining, it's way better when it's Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
100%.
Because Stanley Kubrick leaves so much ambiguity, so many things aren't over-explained as they are in like a novel, to where it was like, even to this day, there's still fan theories on The Shining.
Yeah.
I was watching a 30-minute video yesterday, Jobins, about a bunch of theories on The Shining that I hadn't even known about.
Right.
Because I knew other ones before that. And it's like Stanley Kubrick's movie was able to do something that Stephen King's novel never will be able to achieve.
Right. With
film. But then sometimes, though, on the other side, books can be nice because of the level of detail and world building. Shit
in your
like
imagination, you're using your imagination. I'm not really using my imagination. I think I am using my imagination, because Seth Rogen, everything he said in that video, dude, I agreed with. And like, at a young age, I was able to understand character development, movies, the way movie structures go, plots, protagonists, antagonists, all that shit. It just came natural to me. I don't know why. And I don't know. And I was highly addicted to it. My first favorite movie of all time was Titanic, which is a James Cameron fucking classic of perfection in a movie. Storytelling, writing, just the view of the fucking ship sinking, the action. It was everything in one. And that fucking started Schmitty. And then your boy, and then I'm blessed with my mom, because she's like, oh no, you can't see that movie, it's rated R. But then like, we did watch rated R movies that she had saw, I guess, and was like, okay, yeah, he can watch that. And then like, she'd cover my eyes on titty scenes and shit like that. And I'm like, no.
I just remember Blade so much, watching those movies with you.
Dude.
Like shit like that. Like fun action movies like that.
And being young and watching them.
And then like all the action figures that you had and like we had, and you'd play with them. I was like, dude, remember Big Fat Liar where freaking Paul Giamatti steals Frankie Muniz's ideas? If Michael Bay could have just looked into your window and watched you play action figures and the stories that you would say, we'd probably have a bunch of great Hollywood blockbusters.
Oh, yeah. And action scenes and fight scenes that were just...
a lot of them were, I think, better than Michael Bay's stuff, dude.
Yeah. Because also we grew up watching Bruce Lee shit. You know what I mean? Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was me and my fucking cousin Brian's... That was our... Like, the way me and my cousin Brian were together was Mortal Kombat. And then and you know my cousin Brian. So we watch Mortal Kombat. What does he do? Now the motherfucker thinks he's the guy. And now we're Mortal Kombat, you know. So
before UFC and all that, we had freaking Jackie Chan, Rush Hour movies,
dude, Rush Hour, all
Jet Li. Without Jet Li and Jackie Chan, dude.
Don't forget my Shanghai Noon and Nights, baby. Don't forget my Shanghai Noon and Nights.
Yeah, dude, you can't.
My Owen Wilson duo.
Dude, I would love just a collection of all those movies. Those are such good ones.
You know what we didn't get that the world needed? Jackie Chan in his prime, Kevin Hart in his prime.
The age differences there, but you're right, because there's no Jackie Chan for Kevin Hart.
Yes, there isn't, and he needs it.
But hey,
The
to be
Rock.
fair, Jackie Chan kind of did have a Kevin Hart, like a really great black comedian, and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Not Chris Tucker. I'm sorry. Jesus.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
racist.
I'm sorry. I got the Chris's mixed up. But Chris Tucker killed it
We'll
in
have to
Rush
cut that
Hour.
out. Yeah, he
He
did.
killed it in Rush Hour.
Which one of y'all just hit me? You know what I mean? Dude, like, that was our shit. So, yeah. I feel very blessed with the childhood I've had with all the movies I've seen. Because I hope that when we die, and I hope there is a heaven, I hope there's a fucking stat book. Because we love stats. We love analytics. As humans, this is what we love. And I would love to see every single fucking detail that you can think of in living. And I just want to see my stat sheets. About anything you can fucking think of stat-wise. You know what I mean? And then I'd be like, well, how many movies did I watch in my lifetime? And then, boom, it would have the number. I'd be like, damn, how many watch hours did I have in my lifetime with movies? Boom. I'd be like, damn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the same as, like, someone reading. Like, oh, this dude's got a huge... Like, when I look at someone with a huge book collection, and they're like, yeah, I've read every single book. I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know a lot.
Yeah, but has everyone really done that? I have a book collection, Ricky, and I can tell you, I haven't read every book.
So then there's a big difference because guess what? Is your movie collection like that? Or have you seen every fucking movie you've owned and not only seen it, you've probably seen it how many times?
I don't buy movies, really.
Okay, well, me. And
you know what I'm saying? I think that's
more.
something that a lot of people don't do is buy movies.
We
just
don't.
with streaming services, which is kind of sad because of the collections.
Yeah. Well, then that makes my collection even better. Because your boys, you know my big movie collection. You know how many movies I have. And there might be one movie because I worked at a movie theater, Jobins, and we'd get a box of free DVDs. You know what I mean? And so sometimes I'd be like, but I have it. So there might be one or two movies that I didn't see because I don't care, like in that situation. But other than that, if I bought a movie, I've seen it. And how many times have you seen Lord of the Rings in your life? Or The Matrix? You know what I mean? We don't know.
My question, man, how long before they start making TVs that don't have anything plug into them really, besides maybe like the power, and then now all of a sudden you don't have you don't have any consoles or like DVD players to where you can't even play your collection anymore on a modern TV.
Do you think
that's the kind of thing that scares me because it's streaming and everything? You're just gonna have your collections online.
Well, fuck you. You're the reason of that.
But I'm
little
also
bastard.
It's a fair trade-off because of the convenience factor of being able to see anything that's accessible to me.
You know what this little slime ball would always say to me, Jobins?
And I'll still say it.
He'll always make fun of me when I go buy a video game, or if movies you never really have, but definitely video games you'd always give me shit. Why do you buy this disc when you can just download it? You're the reason for all this. You and your kind started this generational wave to where now everything's just going to be a fucking click.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
But if you can't fight the future, you have to adapt to it and see if you can even have some impact onto it.
Do you know why you can fight the future? Vinyl outsold CD for the first time in 30 years.
Did you say CD? CD's basically vinyl now. It's basically an antique itself. So
Vinyl's
you're saying one
back.
antique
Vinyl's
outsold another antique. And if anything, it's only more valuable because of the antiquity. It's older than the CDs. Of course it's going to be more valuable. CDs are no longer the modern thing.
That's not it. More people today are buying vinyls than like ever in the past 30 years. And if you go to Walmart, or if you even back at home, if you go to the mall, remember back at home when we go to my favorite store, V-Stock? There's a giant vinyl collection. I was like, damn, are vinyls coming back? That was years ago. Now, which Walmart to me is starting to feel like a mall. It feels as if Walmart's going into a mall stage, just because that whole entertainment section feels like a mall now, because they sell all these crazy action figures and these pop figures and all this like collecting shit now. But there's a big vinyl aisle now, and they got the cheap vinyl. You can get a cool record player. If we really want one, we can go out right now and get one. Where like a while ago, let's go back like 10, 15 years ago, like when we were kids, if we went into Walmart, we weren't seeing no fucking record player. We were seeing CDs. We were seeing everything.
I don't know, man. I think you might have.
I think you would have had to go into a pawn shop or maybe the mall. Where, record player, that's cool.
Yeah.
A couple $100 because it's an antique. Now you got cheap ones, you got expensive ones, you got varieties, and it's more.
Let's do a little more research on the on all that and see what the
You
real, because I would love to see the prices on. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can make a comeback. You can.
I think
fight
it's a
history.
trend. I think it's a niche thing right now.
Maybe VHS
and that
will
it's
come
gonna
back.
go out. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe one day VHS for the VHS.
Again, that would be a little trend thing.
How
that would be for antiquity purposes, for like, oh, it's a collecting thing, but no practical use. You're not gonna put in 2001.
it'll probably happen. It'll probably happen. I guarantee it'll probably happen one day. VHSs outsell DVDs, and it'll probably be because of your little streaming shit.
Those movies on VHS, you play them on Disney now, or you play them on, you know what I'm saying?
I
man?
have said
They're
for a long
taking that
time.
away.
I have said for a long time there is a different. So you can argue that vinyl. You would always hear, oh, but vinyl sounds so clear when you play on it. Blah blah blah. When you go watch a VHS tape, now you got movies remastered. Every movie from Jaws remastered. The 35th edition remastered. When you go fucking watch that movie on VHS, you're getting its authentic release, its authentic look of different. It's different. You put a VHS tape in a movie. If we would watch The Mexican that we tried watching last night, if you took the VHS tape of The Mexican, it'd look different than what I showed you last night. It wouldn't be as clear. It'd be darker. And for some scenes, the darkness that VHS gives, I believe, adds to the movies.
Okay, so the picture quality, you're arguing.
Oh yeah.
Why
do you think?
So.
It's like when what's his name? Our one of our favorite. Oh fuck. What's his name? Django Unchained.
Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino. When he films in the film type shit. You know what I mean? For was it Django that he did it for?
When he does that. What about when you stream it?
The Hateful Eight.
When you stream Hateful Eight, though, is it still in the same
I think so.
quality?
Yeah.
So then your VHS thing would be like you should
They don't
just
do
film
that.
it in old film.
That's a movie.
And then you
that
could still stream it.
But that was him filming it that way. And he did it for Hateful Eight. Let's say Aladdin on VHS. If Aladdin on Disney Plus is so much better looking than the Aladdin that you pop in that VHS tape. I promise. And people are going to look for that. People want that.
Yeah.
There's going to be
so people are going to look for shittier quality.
I think so, that authenticness.
Because you could still shoot it in whatever Quentin Tarantino is shooting it in and then port it.
I've seen people have in streaming, they'll have in the background like those little antique TVs that have the VHS player at the bottom and they're playing and it's like old VHS shit.
Dude, maybe there is something to that. I'm interested.
I think so, dude. So, I don't know. We'll see. We were going down a loop down there. I don't even know what.
Well, vinyl records, right? Vinyl records.
Yeah.
Vinyl.
That all started with me and Seth Rogen, and I just really relate to Seth Rogen. We're blessed to have the childhood we did with movies, I think. The Mexican, Jobins, I wanted to talk about that because, A, you weren't digging it, but I don't think you were really following along. I think you were in another place. Distractions.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad movie. Julia Roberts.
Could you tell me right now what it was about?
Yeah, it was
Tell me what it's about.
It was about Brad Pitt's the main character. I felt like, he's one of the main characters. Him and Julia Roberts are in a relationship that's kind of on the rocks right now. She's not happy with what he does. She thinks he's selfish, because he is working for. He's a criminal in a way because he works and does bad stuff. He goes to Mexico for this guy that he works for, and he has to get this pistol out called the Mexican. And then on top of that, he's also getting the guy's either grandson or son. It's a really important kid. He tries to get him out, and then spoilers. A stray bullet hits him and kills him. And he's dead. So that's already foobar. And then he gets the car stolen and a bunch of stuff happening in Mexico. And Brad Pitt basically has to get this pistol back to the guy and explain himself.
Okay, you were digging it. You were there.
On top of that, in order to get the pistol back, he also has to make sure that he gets it back because his girlfriend, Julia Roberts, who he's having a tough time with, she is being held hostage and used as leverage so that he can make sure by James Gandolfini,
rest in peace,
from The Sopranos.
I love that man.
Because he's working for him, and then he is also him and Julia Roberts develop kind of a friendship that seems a little, unique. And he is a homosexual, and she finds out, and then they're both buddy. It's a good film overall.
Yeah, but you have yet to know what happens too.
I don't know what happens at the end of the movie.
I was sad you weren't vibing to it because I liked that movie as a kid.
But don't tell me I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I know. Hey, no, I give you credit. You were there. I didn't think you were there. You were there a lot.
There's better stories that I've seen unfold.
Damn it. Well,
plus we just watched The Whale, which was an Academy Award winner. You know, you spoiled me with these great movies. And this is where I leave you was a really touching movie. And then you try to get me with this like
Brad Pitt movie that's
almost comedy, dark humor, dark black comedy.
It was, and it's good. I don't know why I like it so much. Brad Pitt was my guy when I was young. Brad Pitt was one of my guys.
God, I got a crush on 2001's Julia Roberts though. Jeez.
Right? She was everybody's. Julia Roberts was on top back then. She was one of the tops.
Dude, and Brad Pitt, he's got that dyed-ass blonde hair, dude. He looked funny in it.
Yeah. He looked, yeah.
You could tell it was from 2001. I don't know.
Yeah. That was every girl's dream guy was Brad Pitt. He was on magazines. He was on walls on every girl's fucking room.
I was like, that style is cool then.
Him and Eminem, they were probably just enemies. They're like, damn that Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt like, that damn Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. UFC 286 recap. Boom. We had a little bit of a horrible experience at Buffalo Wild Wings, Jobins. Which, when we were sitting down, I had to think about it. We probably don't know how horrible it is to work at Buffalo Wild Wings right now.
Especially that one.
Especially that location. It's every time we go there, it sounds like a nightmare with staff. Like there's just not enough people there to even run the Buffalo Wild Wings correctly.
And who knows how the turnout is? Are you even being properly trained when the person that's training you has only been there for a week?
Right. So
that's the kind of vibes I got.
It's probably really, really tough. So we're aggravated, but we'll make the best out of it, right? Oh, it'll be about a 20, 30-minute wait, they tell us. Okay, bet. We don't give a fuck. It was beautiful outside. We go out, we smoke, we sit in my car, we smoke, we get stoned. 30 minutes goes by. We're like, all right, let's just go inside and wait for a little bit. We sit there and wait. People come. Then they're like, she had like acted like she completely forgot about us.
You know, because we went in there and it was such a long wait. They fucking forgot, basically. You had to say table for Ricky, and you're like, oh my God. And then they got our table for us. There was a whole line of tables, Jobins. And we came down to the conclusion that they probably didn't have enough staffing, so they didn't want to over table.
And here's my theory about it. You can be pissed, right, Jobins? You can be like, oh, and your waiter can be like, oh yeah, we had to wait for this. You can be all aggravated all you want, right? Or you can be understanding, assess the situation, be friendly to the waitress, and then they won't, because instead of being, if you're rude, I feel like, oh man, now I got this rude table that's I don't want to deal with, and then you get shitty service. But if you're nice to them, you're polite, like, oh yeah, hey, oh no, and they're like, oh sorry, that, no worries, we'll take this, just be cool. Look how good of a service we got. She was probably the best waitress we had ever going there.
You know what the problem is though with that place is the setting of the expectations. Because this is how I would do it. If I was the manager, I would be like, hey, I know we're understaffed, but do this, okay? Because you can't blame the hostess, you can't blame the server for this. I think it comes down to the manager who's running the place on the day-to-day operations. I would be like, make sure that they get a table, explain to them that we're a little short-handed right now, get their drinks, let them look over the menus. We'll get to them when we get to them. You know everyone's there to watch the UFC fights. Why the fuck are we going to have them wait in the freaking lobby where it's hard to see any TVs when we got 20 tables in the lobby that are open? That's what pisses everyone off that comes in there. There's all these empty tables. If you set expectations and you let them know right off the bat that we're short-staffed, let me get some drinks for you. Here's the menus. How much better of an experience would that have been?
Oh, we would have had a way better experience. None of us would have been pissed.
So the Buffalo Wild Wings manager there, go fuck yourself, dude.
Get your shit together.
Seriously.
Buffalo Wild Wings, fire that whole team.
And then again, you can't blame the whole team. Well, maybe, because they've already been tainted by this terrible leadership. This leadership's already ruined everyone else.
Yep. But then again, dude, is that just the times, man? I bet it's just so tough. Can you imagine? Like, I hate working at Sprouts.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, I appreciate it. I appreciate the people I work with. I know what has to be done, and I'm the type of person when I go into a job, I focus on what needs to get done, and I fucking bounce. Like Connor, people think I'm a celebrity. I punch people in the face for money and bounce. That's how I treat my work.
Pretty good.
I bounce. Like, this is our passion. This is our dream. This is where I put my love in.
Another thing too, because how you handle yourself in those situations is how everyone should handle themselves, and how I try to handle myself all the time too. Is just like you know, we're not being Karens. We're not being assholes. We're venting to you, Jobins, because like it's clear and it's obvious what these things were. But when we're actually dealing with the service, we're never rude or disrespectful to them.
Can you help me with a little reflection right now? I need a little reflection because Tim and Sean, if they're watching, Warlike, if some of the Jobins people who know, they're probably laughing at what you just said. Schmitty, stoic, proud of how Schmitty handled a situation. So Brenden, help me. At the end of the day, I was raised well. Shout out, mommy, daddy, because that's how I've learned is from them. Out in public situations, I'm not going to cause a scene, and I'm always going to be respectful. And I'm always going to handle situations in a calm manner. And that's just how I am naturally because of my parents. Why am I not like that with the boys? Or with like, you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Because we had so much right to be pissed off there. We were so hungry too, and it's like,
and we can sit there and treat the waitress who's having a hard day at work. This isn't her fault. We could have been assholes. We could be like that because that's how I am like with you or Brock or Sono. I'm like, when we fight. Why is that? What is that? Jobins, do you know? Tim, Sean, you watching? Do you know?
That's a good question.
I need a little reflection of why my stoicism levels, because Sean and Tim, I promise you, don't believe you if you were to say that.
Oh, really?
100%.
It is true,
and
though,
it's the
in
truth.
the public like that at a restaurant. Maybe it's because that's dealing with service.
There's a chart stoicism, and my stoicism charts are like this, probably. You know what I mean?
It seems like it's a situational thing.
Yeah, the umbrella of stoicisms.
Yeah. I mean, it's always something.
Because it's an umbrella, and there's stoicism on probably every aspect of life.
I think there's just different degrees of stoicism. Too,
like jujitsu. But then again, it's like, how come I can be so Mr. Stoic in public, but not with the boys? When when you guys are all pissing me off, why can't I be like, when y'all are pissing me off saying shit that I'm like, why can't I just be like, you know what? I need to get better at it, which I can. And if you're like that too, Jobins, you can too.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, you can't fuck up buffalo chicken wings, so they were good.
Oh, guess what else I had to deal with?
Oh, yes.
That was after dealing with all that shit, Jobins, then my boys get their food and I don't.
Hey, I was I'm happy you said to eat because my food would have been cold by the time you got there.
And I'm not like that. I don't give a fuck. If I'm out with you, Jobins, and you get your food before me, eat. In fact, eat like you're the hungriest person in the world because I don't give a shit. That don't bother me. Now it sucks, but that's not your fault.
Dude,
but now it sucks because we're all coming from jiu-jitsu. We are all hangry before this whole incident even happened. We're hangry.
And me and Brock, we had jiu-jitsu, we did jiu-jitsu with you, but we went out to that country bar. Brenden threw up. You threw up at jiu-jitsu. And
I was cool, calm, and collective. I was good. I felt good. I've been feeling real good, Jobins. The only thing that hurts from jiu-jitsu is the top of my feet and my fingers. That's it. Your boy's good. But we're all fucking hangry. We're on the way to B-Dubs hangry. B-Dubs does that to us. Now my boys both got their food, and it's you guys eat your whole food. It was literally like after you guys got your food, it was probably 20 minutes before I got my food.
And that was like right before the co-main event, I'm pretty sure. Like that's how long it took for us to get food in general.
Yeah. You guys got yours in the co. I got mine on the main. Yeah, dude. And at the end of the day, I didn't care. The fights were on during the middle of the day, so like I could have stayed and ate.
Dude, remember what she said to you? Another level of stoicism for my boy. The waitress, who I think she was actually way better waitress than the other people we've had serve us. She is like, have you gotten your food yet?
Yeah.
She asked you if you'd gotten your food.
And what did I do? And I was like, it
was just the same as it was in the front when the girl asked if you had been talked to about getting seated yet. And you were like, table for Ricky? Like they had no idea.
And I was just like, no, ma'am. No, I haven't. Please. And she's like, I'm going to go check that for you. Sure enough, about 5 And then I'm sitting there worried. I'm like, why is it taking so long? Because I did get 3 different flavors of sauces, which I'm like, I'm never doing that again if that's the reason why this shit got held up. You know what I mean?
I made my order simple. One flavor. That was it.
I got an order of street tacos and I got some chicken wings. How fucking hard is that? You know what I mean? So once that happened, now I'm sitting there, Jobins, going, fuck. I bet either my food's back there waiting and I'm going to get it cold, or the shit hasn't even been cooked yet. And it's just now going to get started. Those were my two thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then sure enough, they brought it out and it was hot and it was delicious. And I was like, thank you, B-dubs. I devoured it. It was delicious. Not the same B-dubs as it was back in the day, though, 10 years ago.
No, I think they've lost their soul.
They lost the soul of
The
B-dubs.
upper top, the corporate people running B-dubs.
I remember the last time the chicken changed, you're like, what the hell? The chicken's different. You notice.
I thought chicken was all right.
Yeah, chicken's different from back in the day, bud. All right, UFC 286 recap. Leon fucking surprised the world, dude. And thinking about it, I remember watching the fights, Jobins, everyone was like, oh. I do think Leon won. Because I remember watching it going, wow, Usman looks sloppy in the 4th and 5th round. The way he was throwing his punches, Leon's out of the way, not even there. Usman's looking sloppy as fuck. It looked like Usman was the more tired person. His takedowns weren't doing anything.
Well, to be fair, he had some really great, like, remember that single leg takedown he did too, which was beautiful. And then we cannot forget about that fence grab
and the nut shot.
Yeah,
dude.
I think Leon did win the overall whole fight, but the outcome could have been different.
Yeah,
that like butterfly effect shit.
Do you think with the point deduction, do you think they still should have put him back in the spot with Usman up with him against the fence? I think they should have.
Yes, they should have
Do you take the point and you put him back?
Because he had his back.
Yeah,
and who knows what would have happened off the back?
He was gonna take him down. And you can go on forever.
And then how much more tired and more energy would you use being taken down that, what was it, 2nd or 3rd round? I forget what round it happened in.
I think it was the 3rd.
The 3rd round? Well, it happened in the 3rd. Dude, the energy he'd used to get up maybe could have tired him out for the 4th and 5th where he wouldn't have been able to perform as he did.
Right.
Totally would have changed the fight. It's just, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, good for Leon.
Oh, yeah.
They both showed respect towards each other, which I thought was great because...
What a trilogy. Just what a fucking trilogy.
I give it to Leon. He won.
Yeah. Which is really tough. It's really tough for Usman. And I feel it was just like, wow, what a night.
It's actually a sick poster.
It is sick. And they put they're not the real autographs, Jobins, but they're on there for these 4, which is pretty cool. They've never really done that.
It looks like money.
Oh, like a print of
like a printed dollar bill.
Yeah, I think it's zoomed in Paris money or some shit. Who knows?
It's fire.
Paris money.
That fight was great too,
dude. Justin fucking killed it.
He did.
And to see him stay calm and collected, there was a couple times, like at the end of the first, I think he was like being his wild self at the very end. We're like, oh fuck. I remember going to the second, like, oh god, is Justin just gonna come back to the old dog Justin? And then he didn't. Those uppercuts, dude. Justin Gaethje's uppercuts are so fucking.
Yep. And what about, dude, his leg kick right off the rip? Right off the rip. I'm like, who has a better leg kick than Justin Gaethje?
Dude, nobody. It's him and Aldo are my two
because he did get
goats.
Khabib with it too.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
And the difference with Justin and Aldo quit doing it. What happened? I remember watching fights with Aldo going, why isn't he doing his leg kick? What the fuck? Justin don't matter. Justin's throwing that fucking thing no matter. That's why I laughed so hard when he kicked DC on Fight Week. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, it cracked me up. DC's fucking with him and Justin. And you hear it. You hear that crack in the leg kick. And DC, ow! Dude, fuck getting kicked by Justin.
Dude, Raphael, he did a good fight too, but man, I thought it was sick to see the dog and Justin though, like at those... When it comes down, if it goes 10 rounds, he's going to eat the soul out of that,
dude,
man.
Raphael lands those body kicks that sound like gunshots. And he got Justin with a couple of them. Justin's a dog.
Justin's a dog.
Justin's a fucking dog.
No one's got more dog in him than Justin.
Yeah. Did Dustin and Justin fight before?
They did. And Dustin won.
Yeah, so it's time for rematch.
Justin does need that rematch.
It's time for a rematch. That's a fun fight. Is that a main event? That's a main event on a fight night.
Dustin's trippy because he gets it out the mud too. I wonder how Dustin and Raphael would do, honestly.
Yeah. I think that's the number one fight right there, and the winner gets the chip. That's what I think.
Dude, who's beating Islam though?
Now Islam's wanting to go up and fight.
Well, does he need to fight? Because he's probably going to wreck all those guys.
That'd be kind of cool. Islam's just going after records.
Title records. He destroyed Charles.
Yeah.
He destroyed him. Charles didn't look like he'd ever been a champion after Islam fought him.
Right.
I was like, dude, he had all those fights that were like, whoa, he's a real champion. No, Islam was always champion. He was just waiting to get there, dude.
And that's how fucking good Alexander Volkanovski is. That's how fucking good Alexander Volkanovski is. I know he lost, but that's how fucking good.
Volkanovski, I think, should be pound for pound #1.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You've always had his back, and I've always been a bigger Max Holloway fan.
Yeah.
Dude, he's better.
Aren't they going Alexander Volkanovski versus or no, I think they announced something else, like Yair Rodriguez versus fuck.
Oh no, isn't it? It's Yair and Alex. Yeah.
That is what they're doing. Yes.
That's going to be a good fight.
I can't wait.
Dude, after Alex did that fight with Islam, though, he's a really good fighter. He's complete. He knows. I don't know how Yair gets him.
And then Yair's really smart, too.
I think he might have better stand-up than Yair. I mean, he pieced up Max.
Yair's got the reach,
and Max and Yair had an epic fight.
Oh, man.
Epic fight. And he schooled Max on their last fight.
Alex probably just takes Yair down, doesn't he?
He could probably even stand up and beat him.
No, overhand right, knock him out.
He's really good.
Yair's really good at standing.
He's
up
pound for pound
dude.
#1 guy right now.
I think when you got two guys standing who are really good, both standing,
you give it to Yair.
Well, but then you got Alex, who's like a very calculated fighter. I think he goes for takedowns.
I respect that.
If he isn't getting the respect from Yair striking. If Yair's piecing him, Alex shoots, right? He has to.
Alex is good at his range too, though. He's a good.
That's gonna be a good fight, dude. I'm excited. I'm fucking excited. And then this whole thing with Leon, dude, just makes the welterweight division so much more exciting. It opens the door for everything again. I'm ready for him and Colby. I am so excited. First off, that whole Colby coming in and making weight, that was fun. We love Colby.
You know who else wants that shot though is Bilal Muhammad.
He deserves it. What do? Bilal Colby?
Bilal Colby, yeah. And
but Dana White's like, oh no, Colby's getting the title shot because he made weight.
And you know what? Colby could beat Leon.
It would be nuts, dude. And then I loved what Nate said when he's like, still king. He tweeted it out. And then they had the picture of him pointing at Leon when he's all shaking.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm just like,
he did still get beat that fight.
He did. But it's sure
okay, you
fun.
get him once in the fight, yeah.
If I'm Nate Diaz in my mentality, I feel like a champ. Because I'm like, look what I'm like, I kind of fucked that dude up a little bit for a second at the end of the fight.
True.
Who knows what would have happened if we kept fighting in the streets?
Has Nate Diaz ever fought Kamaru Usman?
No.
What if he beats him?
That would be fucking insane.
Maybe Kamaru doesn't want to get in his jiu-jitsu.
That would be... Nate retired, though, right? Didn't Nate retire? Or no?
He probably should. He probably should.
I forget this shit, Jobins. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm excited. Leon winning makes this whole division fun again.
That was a good card.
Yeah. It was a great card. Now this weekend, we're doing our speed dating, so we're going to miss this card, Jobins. But I am really excited for Cheeto Vera versus Sandhagen. I wish we were watching that fight. Holly Holm versus Yana Kowinskaya. I'm sorry. I got Holly Holm on that one. Just quick picks real quick. Who do you got in the main event? Vera and Sandhagen.
You know what was cool? Because I was doing a little research on that. I didn't realize that, Corey had beat Sonya Dawn. Mm-hmm. And Marlon and Cheeto, he was beat by Sonya Dawn. Isn't that kind of crazy? I didn't know that Corey Sandhagen had a win over a guy that had beat Cheeto.
Well, it was earlier in Cheeto's career, wasn't it?
Corey's only lost to Peter Yan, TJ Dillashaw, and Aljamain Sterling.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dude.
All champs.
I think Cheeto's lost to people like Jose and freaking...
You're doing some really hardcore UFC math here right now.
I know.
Styles make matchups, and you're forgetting that Cheeto Vera has gotten way better since those fights. He's way better of a fighter.
I changed my pick.
When you're going with Corey?
I'm going with Corey Sandhagen. I think he's going to win by a unanimous decision. Because you know who was beating Cheeto the whole fight?
Frankie.
Dominic Cruz.
Dom.
And then Dominic Cruz got knocked out. Dominic Cruz was outscoring him.
I said Frank Yeager. He didn't fight Frank Yeager, did he?
He did fight Frank Yeager.
Was Frankie winning that?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
And then he knocked him out at the end.
Yeah, damn it.
Corey Sandhagen, if he gets knocked out at the end, that would be funny. That's how he'd lose. But I think he gets a unanimous decision over Cheeto.
That's interesting. I like that. That would be... Dude, that's an upset, right?
I think so. Because I think people are counting Cheeto's power.
Interesting. I like your pick. I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm going Cheeto. Mm-hmm. I'm going Cheeto.
It would be. He seems more of a figure, polarizing figure.
I kind of want the Cheeto just because if I want Sean to become champ, and then I want him to get that fight back because I think he was.
Get it in blood, dude.
I think he's got Cheeto's number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Holly Holm versus Yana. Who you got for that?
Ooh,
I'm
dude.
going Holly.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with too.
Uh,
I mean, again, I did my fighter
Yana?
math, and
Yana's tough. Maybe Yana pulls it out decision. That'd be crazy. And then the Nate Lawnwear guy, the guy who was like Dana, after his fight.
oh,
I don't think he did too well after, but I'm excited. He's fun. He's fighting Austin Lingo. I think he's like 9-1.
Gosh,
Tough fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight though. Andrea Lee versus Macy Barber.
oh, that's kind of crazy. I got Macy. I think Macy Barber could beat Andrea.
I'm
Lee.
rooting for Andrea Lee. I'm going
Is
Andrea
it
Lee.
tough?
Alex Perez versus Manuel Cape.
Emmanuel Cape.
You're going Manuel Cape. How?
Yeah, Emmanuel Cape
How?
by a second round TKO.
I'm going Cape submission. Those are wild picks, Jobins. We'll see what happens.
I don't know.
Dude, I wanted to talk about this. Do you know anything what happened with the Jeff Molina guy? Do you know anything?
Jeff Molina, no.
Yeah. So I feel bad for him because all this stuff, this video leaked of him doing stuff with another male. So he's gay. Where he can't, and then he said he came out bi.
Who is Jeff Molina?
UFC fighter, MMA fighter.
Oh.
Yeah. And I feel bad just because now, look, everyone's talking about it. This dude didn't get to come out on his own. They took that away from him. That's something that you're taking away from somebody. When they, especially because I do feel bad for him, dude, because not only do UFC have some of the most homophobic fans in the world, for real, but also a lot of the fighters. So, dude, I've seen tweets, Jobins, and when I see tweets and messages that I've seen from fighters, it's just like, holy shit.
Damn. Are there any fighters that are like big?
I'm not calling anyone out, but people can do their research. It's out online.
What?
And that's the thing. Some fighters are open about it. They're very open about it. Like Henry and Diego Sanchez, they hate transgenders. And I grew up, here's the thing, Jobins. If it doesn't affect me, I don't give a fuck. If you're doing something that is harming someone else, I give a fuck. If you're doing something that harms yourself, I give a fuck. If you're trying to kill yourself and you're doing all these violent things to yourself, I would care. Like, yo, quit doing that. But if you're doing something that isn't hurting anyone and you think it's bettering your life and it doesn't affect anybody, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. I don't give a fuck if you're trans. There are so many names out there, bro. I don't even know that. You're making me feel dumb now, world, because there's 37 different types of things. And I don't know each of them. I know what I was born with, my eyes, penis and vagina. That's
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't care. As long as you're not affecting anyone in a harmful way, I don't care. And I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to not listen to you about anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, dude, the shit that he posted a video of Joe Biden talking about transgenders and everything. And Diego went off about how it's against God and all this and blah, blah, and all this, right? And then even Henry Cejudo was like, on it, he commented, makes me sick. You know what I mean? So it's just like, their mamas didn't teach them right. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. We all fuck up. We all do it. I've said something that I'm like, damn, I regret saying that. I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? But not really hateful. And that's something that's hateful. That's a hateful thing to just be talking about. I hate someone because of that thought. I hate someone because of their religion. That's shit that's just, to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't never gonna, again, if your religion is killing and murdering people that aren't in your religion, maybe your religion needs to fucking change a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm not for that. But if your religion ain't hurting anybody and you're in your own spiritual journey doing whatever the fuck it is, I don't give a fuck. You believe in you, I'm gonna believe in me. Believe in what I believe in. You know what I mean? And can you take bits and pieces from every religion and kind of learn from them? 100%. Be open-minded. Don't be fucking closed-minded.
Humans, though, humans are susceptible to programming.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So like Diego and Henry
more than we know.
have probably a highly religious background. A lot of fighters have highly religious backgrounds. Like John Jones, when he thanks God for putting him on this planet for his purpose to fight. Like those kind of mindsets are very powerful.
I know.
So like to just judge Henry and Diego at the same time for what they're saying is like, let's try to understand who these people are, even though we don't agree with what they're saying. And I also don't think that they should say that kind of shit online either, but that's just my opinion. Like they have freedom of speech, so
Yeah,
they
100%.
get to.
Thank God we have freedom of speech. We're blessed for it. We're able to do this.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with being whatever you want to be as long as you're not killing people or hurting people. Right.
That's
Like,
why I feel bad
we
for Jeff.
Be more accepting. But their religion makes them think that way.
It does. And dude, why does religion make people have such closed-minded minds? Oh, if it's not this, it's not the right way, and it's wrong. And I'm not even going to open my ears to it or try to take anything from something that there could be a little wrong about. Hey, you're a little wrong about this.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that maybe I would counter with is like, I'd rather, if someone cared about me, I'd rather them like try to make me see their way or something like that, even if I don't agree with it, because they're trying to like save me from eternal damnation or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like their intentions are at least good, to where it's like they just want what's best for the person they're saying it to, type deal. But sometimes when that say shit like that and trying to, I don't know, man. There's levels to religion.
We're all committing sins. Every day people commit sins, and sins are crazy because it's like, what is a sin? What's your religion consider a sin? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I just kind of feel bad for Mr. Jeff. And then you got Sean Strickland coming out saying shit, conspiracy theories, all this kind of shit about everything. It's just like, Jesus. You know what I mean? Leave the poor guy alone. And then who cares? Who cares if the guy's gay? I hope, and this is what I get to enjoy. When I read that comment, guess what? I can go watch any of fucking Diego Sanchez's fights and watch him get his ass beat and go, there you go. Sit down with the transgender person, but there you go. Look at that. And then I can also go, hey, watch this first Henry Cejudo versus Demetrius Johnson fight. Watch this. And we can watch him get his ass beat. Because guess what? I hope one day there's a transgender person you get tricky, right, with the transgender and fighting people. You know what I mean? Switching genders and fighting.
Well, my whole thing is
that's tough.
If you're going to have a view on transgenderism and be like, yo, this is bad. Well, what about yourself? Look in the mirror, Diego. You fight and hurt people for a living.
Well,
do you think God would really condone violence of any level for entertainment purposes too? That would probably sicken Jesus.
Worse sins watching it than probably to Jesus.
100%. Being the spectators, partaking in whatever filth this is. This is corruption of the body. Like, so come on now.
So what are we really even talking about?
Come on, Diego.
So what are we even really talking about?
He has no room to talk.
Exactly.
Shut up, Henry. Shut up, Diego.
Exactly. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's a tough one. But yeah.
Got me.
That's all we got. I wanted to get into open relationships, brother, but I got shit to do. We'll do it next time. Save it for next time. Jobins, we want to talk about open relationships. We're going to do a pod about it. We had a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Sorry again about the error that we had. Won't happen again. But thanks for all you guys watching. Hope you guys have a good week. Let's fucking kill it. I'm working today. You're off. Then you work the rest of the week on Saturday too. I got Jits Thursday, Saturday. You got Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
I won't be able to come in. I'm working.
Oh yeah, you're working. That's right. Yeah, maybe we'll go Sunday. But yeah. Hope you guys have a good week. Safe week. Love you, Jobins. Deuces.